Hey guys, Dan the Movie Man here, finally bringing you another video. I've got a couple of videos laid out over the next couple of weeks because a lot of TV shows are returning in the coming weeks, and so I wanted to do a top 10 most anticipated TV shows of the 2016-2017 season. I have my list right here. Now, first of all, this was really hard to do because I have a lot of shows that I really enjoy. Some of them couldn't make the list, and the ones that did, it took me forever to figure out where I was going to place them. I finally have the list. Just know it took me a long time. Alright, here we go. Number 10, Luke Cage. So Luke Cage is actually coming in 2 days. In 2 days, Luke Cage will be dropped. I'm super excited. Critics' early reviews have been great. It's another step towards the Defenders. Another entry in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, and it's a hero I never thought I'd see in live action. Luke Cage is not as well known as even as Daredevil or Iron Fist, I would say, and he's been in a lot of animation, but he's never really been in live action. And I'm really interested to see what they do with him. And I don't even know a lot about Luke Cage, so I'm excited to sit down and watch his series and meet him in his character before we get to Defenders. Moving on to number 9, I have Iron Fist, another Marvel Cinematic Universe one. This one I'm more excited for because I know the character of Iron Fist. I'm a fan of Danny Rand, and I cannot wait to see what they do with him. He's going to be a great addition to not only the Netflix world and the Marvel Cinematic Universe, but to Marvel as a whole, because he is such an amazing character, and I can't wait to see him in his own show and in Defenders. He's an interesting character. I don't think he's been live action either. He's been in a lot of animation. He's a very popular character amongst comic fans, but he's never really been put out in a mainstream audience. He's been in a couple of animations. I know he's in the current Spider-Man cartoon, and he's great in it, but I'm very excited to see what they do with him in live action. Number 8, I have Defenders, another Marvel one, I know, but I couldn't help it. I'm excited for Defenders. All 4 of these heroes coming together to stop something. I don't know what they're stopping. I want to know what they're stopping. In the trailer, that teaser we got, Stick is obviously talking about saving New York. So is it the Hand that they're going up against? Maybe Kingpin as back on the streets? I don't know. I'm excited. I want to know what is so bad these heroes need to band together to save New York. Number 7, not Marvel, it is The Walking Dead Season 7. I am very pumped for this season. It's interesting. There's a lot of people who have different opinions on the Season 6 finale. I'm of the opinion that it was a great twist. Not really twist, a great cliffhanger, but maybe they shouldn't have done it. We have to wait a long time to find out who bit the bullet, or the bat, and it's gotten under a lot of people's skin, but nevertheless, The Walking Dead is an amazing show with amazing characters and amazing storylines. They're bringing in more things from the comics this season, and we are going to see Negan in full effect. My personal prediction for the season opener is that we see the death of Glenn. I don't want it to be Glenn. I don't want it to be any of them, but it's going to be Glenn, and I'm sorry. Moving on to number 6. Our first DC entry on the list, Supergirl. I just recently watched Supergirl Season 1, and I liked it a lot. I very much enjoyed it. The characters on there are really great. I'm actually going to be dropping a top 10 Supergirl characters list soon. But Supergirl is cool in the way that they handled everything. It has a very different feel from the Arrowverse, and even though it's part of the Arrowverse, and when the first season waited, it was part of the Arrowverse, but it wasn't part of the Arrowverse. But it's very interesting. It has a much different feel. Melissa Benoist did a great job as Supergirl, but I think the guy that really stole the show was Martian Manhunter, Hank Henshaw, aka John Jones, aka Martian Manhunter. I think every scene he was in, he just stole the camera, and I can't wait to see, now that his identity has been lifted, how he plays into this season of Supergirl. So number 5, we have Star Wars Rebels, a show that has already come back. We're 1 episode in, and it was a great episode, introducing us to Grand Admiral Thrawn and setting up what's going to happen this season. It's obviously has a darker tone. We're going to see what has been going on with Ezra, Kanan, and the entire crew. Obviously, things are not so good. The episode did end with an upbeat tone and promises towards the future, but I have a feeling by the end of the season, we are going to see a very, very dark Ezra. This is going to be a great season for Rebels and for Star Wars fans. I'm so excited to see the rest of this season. Number 4, we are back to Marvel with Daredevil. Daredevil was a shocker to me because I am not a fan of the Daredevil character. But I watched this show and it made me a fan of the Daredevil character. Daredevil is an amazing show. It's not just a superhero show. It's a crime drama. It's an action thriller. It's great, intense, has amazing characters, amazing storylines, amazing arcs, amazing effects, everything. It's an amazing show. While season 2 left a hole without Wilson Fisk, it was still a great season. And the Punisher, what a great introduction for a character. Daredevil is just amazing, and now knowing finally Netflix has announced, they are going to have a Daredevil season 3. I cannot wait. Daredevil is one of my favorite shows, and I can't wait for it to come back. Number 3, we have Supernatural. Supernatural is one of my favorite shows as well. It was my absolute favorite show for a little while. But Supernatural is coming back, and with the bomb that was dropped on us at the end of last season, with Mary Winchester being back, I can't wait to see what happens. We have the devil running amok. We have Mary back. We have the British Men of Letters now pursuing Sam and Dean. This is going to be a very interesting season because we were promised to go back to the basic, more Monster of the Week stories, which I like. Now, there's still going to be an overall plot and arc, obviously, there always is, but it's going to be nice to see them doing more stuff that we saw in seasons 1 through 5, which in my opinion are the best seasons of the show. Alright, moving on to number 2, we have Arrow. Arrow, one of the best shows on television. Sure, season 4 might not have been the best season, but it wasn't bad. Season 5 has a lot more promises. There's a lot more things to fulfill. Where's Oliver Queen at now? Being mayor and a vigilante, how is he dealing with his team basically walking out on him? How is the relationship between Oliver and Felicity? All these questions. Diggle is now back in the army. Prometheus is around, and this isn't Prometheus from DC Comics. This is a Prometheus specific for the Arrow TV show. But we've been promised it's someone from Oliver's past. But the question is, who is that? Fans seem to think it's Tommy Merlin, but I don't think it's Tommy Merlin. I think it's a different character. I think it's someone Oliver hasn't seen in a long time. I think that Prometheus is going to turn out to be Yao Fei. Now, the reason I think it's going to be Yao Fei is because they said this person is going to have a personal vendetta against him. Why would Tommy Merlin, if he was still alive, have a personal vendetta against Oliver Queen? Oliver and him had words right before Tommy died, and Tommy and him smoothed everything over. But what if somehow Yao Fei survived or was resurrected, and he finds out that Oliver Queen is responsible for the death of his daughter's shadow? That's a personal vendetta that Yao Fei would want to pay back to Oliver Queen. So I think Yao Fei is going to turn out to be Prometheus. Now, there's so many great shows, I had to put in some honorable mentions. So first of all, we have DC's Legends of Tomorrow. A great show introducing characters from Flash, introducing characters from Arrow, and introducing new characters. It's a great show. They traveled through time to battle a villain called Vandal Savage. Also, it's just a great show. But this season, we're going to get the Justice Society of America. That is incredible. The fact that we are going to get to see that in the Arrowverse is amazing. Not to mention, Legends of Tomorrow will actually be crossing over with Supergirl, Flash, and Arrow for a week of storylined episodes, and it's going to be amazing. Now, I haven't seen as much of Legends of Tomorrow as the other Arrowverse shows, so that's why it's not actually on my list, but it's a great show nonetheless. Another honorable mention, Bates Motel. Bates Motel is a great show. I absolutely love it. But it's one of those shows that I don't feel I need to watch on a week-to-week basis. I wait for it to come out on Netflix, and that's when I watch it. But nevertheless, it's a great show, a prequel to one of my favorite films of all time, Psycho, and it tells the story of Norman Bates and why he becomes a psychotic murderer, how he's a psychotic murderer, and it's a great show. And my last honorable mention is a show I've seen nothing of, but I feel I have to mention it, and that's Jessica Jones. You know, obviously tying in the Marvel Cinematic Universe, she's gonna have a presence in Defenders, and people like the show, so I had to throw it on there. Now, my number one show, the most anticipated show of the 2016-2017 season for me, is The Flash Season 3. I'm so excited. After the end of Season 2, we are getting Flashpoint. Everything Barry knows is going to change because he went back and saved his mother. Flashpoint is going to change everything. We're going to get Kid Flash. We're going to get 2 new villains. We're going to get Cisco as a billionaire. Now, obviously, Flashpoint is not going to play out through the entire season. We're supposed to be returned to a sense of normality within 3 or 4 episodes. But that doesn't mean the effects of Flashpoint won't be felt throughout the entire season. And I just cannot wait to see how this plays into the story. We're obviously getting Reverse Flash in the first few episodes. We're getting Kid Flash in the first few episodes. Zoom might come back. Who knows what we're going to get? I'm excited. I can't wait. The Flash definitely has my interest at the moment, and I cannot wait for it to come back. It is the first of the Arrowverse shows to come back. It comes back Tuesday, and I'm so hyped for it. Anyway, those are my top 10 most anticipated TV shows of the 2016-2017 season. If there are any more shows you guys are hyped about, let me know in the comments. Tell me what shows you are hyped about, and if you thought my list was good. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.